Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Miriam and I love books. I really love reading and writing and collecting books, and in today's video I'm going to share with you my August TBR. And if you've seen my previous TBR video, the TBR video for July, you know that I had a lot of books on my July TBR because I added all the books I did not get to in March, April, June. I picked like a few books for July, and I actually did the same for August because I still did not get to all the books in July. Well, at the moment I still got 11 days to finish quite a few of those books, but I will definitely not finish them all because there are like maybe 20-25 books still left. So I did not pick a lot of books to read in August. Well, I picked 12, which is still quite a lot, but because I challenged myself to read 365 books this year, I have to read at least 31 books in August. So then 12 is not a huge number, and there are still like almost 20 books left to read from the leftover TBR, so to speak. Well, I don't know if you remember, but usually I would first tell you about the Dutch books I would read, then the translated books, so books that were originally English but I'm going to read in Dutch, and the last category was the English books. But I've sort of switched that around because today first I'm going to show you the library books which I plan to read in August, then I'm showing you the ebooks I plan to read, and lastly I'm going to share with you the physical books that I own myself or borrowed from my parents or someone else. So first is all the library books are actually translated books. So this one is called in Dutch De Opdracht, the same as my debut novel, and therefore I got it from the library. The English title is The Reason. It's written by William Searles. I've never read a book by this guy before, but I saw this at the library, and my library puts a sticker of a fish on the book if it's a Christian book, which is fun, I guess. So the non-Christian people won't accidentally pick Christian books, and Christian people won't accidentally pick books that are not Christian. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know. I sort of like it because, well, I do not want all the books I read to be Christian, because I am really interested to read other things because they broaden your view and they really help you discovering new things. But I do enjoy a Christian book now and then, so therefore I picked this one. I also got this book. The English title is Before You Go. It's written by Claire Swatman, and this is not a Christian book. It does not have a fish. It was highlighted at the library, it was on a special table, and I thought this would be a great book. I read the back of the book and it sounds really interesting about people that were that found one another and had a great future ahead of them, but then one of them dies, and the other person thinks about all the things that he still wanted to say to him. So that sounds like a heartbreaking story, and I'm really curious to read it. The next book is a Christian book, and it has a beautiful cover. The English title is Becoming Us. The Dutch title is different, Meer dan genoeg. It also has a completely different meaning. I have no idea what this book is about, but I've heard a lot of great stories about these books that are from a certain publisher, and people say these books are amazing and the cover is pretty, which is the same as this book, which it's called After Anne. The original title, the Dutch title, is De Kleur van Vriendschap, which can be translated as The Color of Friendship. So they pick different titles. This is about a friendship, and one of the friends gets a terminal illness. So the ebooks I'm going to read, well, first I'm going to read While We're Apart by Lynn Austin. I'm going to read the Dutch version of this book. That's also for My Husband's Secret, written by Liane Moriarty. That's actually her debut novel. I'm curious about that one. I'm also going to read that one in Dutch. The same goes for the next book, which is an original Dutch book, Het Verlangen van de Egel, or The Longing of the Hedgehog. I think you can translate it as that. Or The Yearning of the Hedgehog. It's written by Toon Tellige. And the other book is also a Dutch original, Japan in 100 Little Pieces. That is the translated title. It's a non-fiction book actually about Japan, and the author really enjoys Japan, I believe. And the last ebook I'm going to read in English is If I Were You by Lynn Austin, but I might be able to read the Dutch version as well. I'm not sure about that, but I think I'm going to read the original book. I've never done that before by a Lynn Austin book yet, so. And last but not least, there are 3 physical books on my TBR that I either borrowed or bought myself. Well, the first one is Pilgrim's Progress, and that also counts toward my classic goals. I read, or actually some sort of children's editions of the Pilgrim's Progress were read to me when I was younger, and I'm not a very big fan of the Pilgrim's Progress because where I live there's like this huge, I don't know how to put it, but people are big fan of this book, and actually they, in their theology, they actually point toward this book, and it has become such an important book for people that you're not allowed to tell them that you do not really like the book. That's sort of, I don't know how to say it, but I do not really like that, the sort of status this book has got in where I'm from, but I will try and read this in August. It also helps towards my reading English books goals. I will post a video about that very soon as well. The other book is the 7th book in the Duiventil series. I read a book from this series every month, and this is a reread, and yeah, it's nothing special, so to speak. And the last book is a book I borrowed from my parents. It's called Vredeskind, or the original title is Peace Child, and this is a non-fiction book actually. I thought it was fiction, but it is a non-fiction book about a, how do you call it? People who go abroad to tell other people about Jesus. I don't know. This is sort of, I do know the word, I definitely do know the word, but I can't get to it at the moment. Ministry. There's people that do ministry in, I don't know how to say that country. But anyway, this is based on true events, so I'm really curious about this book, but I say that about all the books. But actually I'm collecting all the books at the moment. But I'm going to give my TBR a twist this month, because the reason I think I do not really stick to my TBRs is that I don't know in which order to read them, the books. So in August I'm going to read my TBR in alphabetical order, and I'm basing that order on the title that the book has in, well, in the language in which I read it. So this one, Voor je weggaat, it starts with a V, the Dutch title, but the original title starts with a B, but I'm still going to read it at the V. But I'm not entirely sure about this book because it has to be back at the library at the 25th of August. So I might even read this book in July because I still have time to read it in July, so it won't be on my TBR, but I'll see about that. Obviously I'm not just these 12 books, but also all the books that are leftovers from July's TBR are going to be on my August TBR, and I'm going to put them in alphabetical order, and then that's my TBR for the month, because I have a hard time deciding which book I'm going to read next, even though I've made a TBR for a month. So hopefully reading the books in alphabetical order works. Hopefully it works for me. So that actually means that if these 7 physical books, 7? Yep, 7 books, I'm going to, well, just show you how I'm going to do it. This one is the first because it starts with a D and then an E, the, which is the in English. This one also starts with the, but the next letter is an O, and this one is a K, so K comes first in the alphabet. So this one is going to be the first book, if there's no ebook or other book that comes before it. I think it varies actually. Well, not on this list, but I think in the other TBR list for my TBR for July. And next, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. The Daffodil series books, because it's Leaf and Late in the Daffodil. I don't know how to translate that in English at the moment, but it starts with an L. Yeah, I hurt my wrist, so I'm still a bit careful with that. After that, the book with the M. Then The Pilgrim's Progress, because it starts with a T, and then I got 2 books that both start with a V, and this one is first because the next book, the second letter is an R and this is an O, and I believe it's MNOPQR. Yep. So that would be, if this were the only books I got for my TBR, this would be the order in which I'm going to read them. Because I sort of do this every month, because I'm doing the challenge where I read 365 books. I pick the short books first, so I'm a bit ahead of the challenge, and then when I get to a bigger book, then I still need to, well, at the end of the month I need to do a lot more. I need to read a lot of, well, bigger books. Maybe you're asking, but what if she's going to read a series and the first book in the series starts with an H, and the first book in the second book in the series starts with an A? I'm going to read the series in order because I usually do that, and then I'm starting the series when I get to the H. I can't recall a series that the first book starts with an H, but just to show you. And there's actually one other thing. I'm currently reading a series of novellas, and I've allowed myself to read 1 book a week from that series. So I'm keep on doing that on Sunday. Every Sunday I read 1 book of that series, because my week for myself starts on Sunday, so it really helps me getting into reading. And then, oh wow, I read 3 books on a Sunday. That's what I usually think if I start my week with reading such a small book. So that's the only sort of different thing, that I don't have to read on alphabetical order, but I have to do this with the rest of the books. I'm curious whether this works, and I'll let you know in a future video how this went. Usually I'll post a wrap-up video on either the first or second Monday of the month. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to do it this Monday, so Monday the 2nd of August, a wrap-up video of July. I do have the Monday off, so I might be able to do it, but It can also be next week, but this month there's definitely going to be a wrap-up video to wrap up the entire month. So I hope to see you soon. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know what book is on your TBR for August. And as always, happy reading.